What's up, Star Wars Unlimited fans? We are back. I don't know who the hero of Minnesota Regional is, but I know the villain is Verizon. Because that was our problem day one. That's actually what crashed Sea Raptor stream, a little bit ago. So, we'll have words that way. But we are back. The hotspot apparently needed to be turned off and turned on. Because it went to nothing for no reason, and now it's back.
Good old little reset. That always fix everything.
So, all right, so we are back. Certainly, John Todapilot and Ray Data Vault is in better position this game than last.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Tada's doing what he does best, which is holding on. He was able to kind of play out from that Ewing reinforcement. It did get cleared, so Ray was able to handle it. But at the end of the day, I mean, the later the stages of these games go, Tada's going to have top end and units on board and small stuff and reoccursion and playing big stuff and restore. And it's going to get to a point where Ray doesn't have anything to do. There's nothing. You can't play enough Cad Bane units that are going to capture every card that Tada plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're looking for fast action out of Ray. He can't out control the mid-range grind deck. So the problem is you're going to have to start making some turn plays here. He's prioritizing that Bazine pretty heavily.
Ooh, that is McClunky, which is a huge swing right now because Boss is out.
Yep. So it's going to do the 2 damage with the boss trigger, 3 damage to kill the clone deserter, collects the bounty of drawing a card, and gets to play Bazine one more time.
Yep, so the one card trick McClunky might be the card of this game so far, because not only does it clear out, do a lot of damage to the board, it also now allows him to get another home one.
So do we take out this? This second home one here? There's one more in hand, but I think dealing with one less home one is the way to go.
You'd rather deal with home 2 than home 1 if you can. So.
It's a tough decision. The one Rivals Fall, Tada's seeing all of his sideboard cards coming in. There's so much card draw in this deck. He saw the regional governor. He saw the Rivals Fall. That Akbar, the blue leader. Ray's going to go ahead and look through the discard pile here. If I'm in Ray's shoes, you got to imagine that the home 1 is the thing that you're interested in taking. Tarkatown still has yet to be used by Raytan, Loopy. And we're going into 9 resources.
And he knows this matchup. And the reason why he hasn't had to, and also the fact that Tarkatown exists and is unused, changes some things about the match. I mean, then he has to respect that Tarkatown.
So Tada's going to go ahead and draw a card off the Bazine trigger. So Ray goes for a blue leader rather than any of the home ones. Says, look, at the end of the day, if you're going to play the home one, I'm just going to have it. It's going to be a thing.
Right.
The only thing I can think here is that maybe Ray is going to respond with a Cad Bane unit.
Ray the Cad Pilot. Tada and Tan.
Tada and Tan. A large crowd of people still waiting around in the event hall long after some side events have ended. People having a fun time playing and watching the finals. I love to see people wanting to watch the semifinals.
And I saw Ward, who's actually the head person for SCG here, pushing TVs. They have rigged TVs.
It's incredible.
To help watch, to decrease the area. And there's another crowd around the plays itself. Our Canadian friends will let us know if there's any more regional governor calls. So everybody's here with the best community, in SWU. And then we have the 3 stream tables still going strong.
Going into 9 resources here. If you're in Tada's shoes, not pulling the home 1, putting the blue leader in the discard pile, which opens up the home 1, pulling the blue leader out on the next turn. He's got to be thinking, what's going on? What does Ray have in hand that allows him to open up that? He already knows that Ray plays the Cad Bane unit. John Tada does have the Fell the Dragon in hand, so he has an answer. Tada's going to tap 7. Does he pull a Ewing reinforcement or a Luke off that last draw? 7. And home 1 comes down for 7 instead of 8. And there it is. The correction's there. He's going to pull Mon Mothma out to get the draw trigger. And what do you think he's pulling out of that hand? You got to imagine it has to be a Luke draw.
Absolutely.
It's a C3PO draw, or R2D2 draw. He wants a little bit more filter on the top of the deck. Again, Ray has a harder time handling big units with smaller units, not just big units.
Right. But that boss that's in the ground arena, I mean, really is crucial right now. I mean, the ability to play an event and do 2 damage really makes it much easier to try to deal with this board.
Well, it changes the math for sure.
Right. And
Race.
Tada's only got to deal another 14 damage.
Yep.
Home 1 hits for 7. Luke hits for 6. It doesn't take long if he can get control of the board to where Ray Tan, the CAD pilot, does not have an answer.
The CAD pilot, Ray Tan, still has Tarkentown up. You got to imagine that Tarkentown's going to have to go toward that home 1. You're going to have to start knocking these things out sooner or later.
Right.
It's going to get to a point where the restore that's natural on just every unit, that restore 1 and the restore 2 from the 7 hitting units, going to just start racking up, especially when you're at 11 damage on base.
Right.
For Ray Tan. Only 2 damage to base for Tada. This is a tough position, especially going into 9 resources. There's only 2 damage on the base that heals the most. This has got to be a little bit scary. 1 remaining resource for Ray. John Tada. Ray.
Ray Skywalker, so I hear. Though I have not seen that movie since the theater. My son was just here a second ago. I don't know. I would have stayed to the end, but for my kids being along and not wanting to be that guy. But I think that is the canonical name.
Surprise shot going to come out from Ray Tan here. It's going to get the Bosk on trigger, 2 damage to the home 1. He's going to go ahead and use Bazine. He's going to kill the Mon Mothma.
And then Tada soups up the Bright Hope. A brighter hope has emerged.
And another surprise strike comes out.
For Bosk.
4 damage to base. You got to imagine that this is where the Tarkentown comes out at.
I think you're right. And, this is the first time that we've seen Tada push enough that we got there.
Yep.
But, I mean, I can tell you that CAD might win with Tarkentown on loot unused, but, a CAD player of this caliber will not lose with Tarkentown unused.
Absolutely.
And the good news for John Todd of the KTOD competitive team is he doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yep.
It is now out of the thing. It's like when you're playing Han 2 into Tarkentown, it's a horrible card against you. But once it's gone, he doesn't get it back. There's nothing in the game that currently resets an epic action on a base.
Absolutely. On board, we have 3 units in the ground arena for Ray Tan. We have a Crafty Smuggler, a Bazine, and a Bosk. We are currently presenting 7 damage on base, presented for damage to Tada, with Bright Hope being a 3 power unit right now. I forgot the damage from the Mon Mothma going onto the Bazine, so they just went ahead and re-triggered that.
Absolutely.
Home 1 not being out means that Bright Hope is not going to get the restore. But it looks like Home 1 might be replayed.
And this game is very much in the balance. There's not a timer out. There's a Home 1 coming down. And this might be the first match against Ray that Ray Tan is really feeling it. And he certainly has to now.
Absolutely. It's a 5-5 in ground. He's going to bring out that blue leader. 1 HP remaining. But he's got to deal with a restoring Bright Hope that's going to get him right back down to 6 health.
But the Bosk is off the board.
Bosk is off the board.
Right, which drastically impairs Ray Tan, the CAD pilot's ability to deal with the space arena.
Ray Tan just going to go for that Crafty Smuggler. I think he was preemptively understanding that blue leader was going to come out and kill the Bosk, which means that Crafty Smuggler shield was going to do its job.
Absolutely.
Full resources up for Ray Tan. We're going to see a Chamson Dula.
Oh, and it did come in on the sideboard. Despite Ray not being a significant ramp deck, I think there are resupplies, and it's been used. But did play Cham, is able to now keep pace and find some more resources. But Ray Tan, the CAD pilot, is
5 going to come down from Zuckus. He's going to choose the ping damage from the CAD Bandit Trigger. The biggest thing in Ray Tan's deck is the CAD Bane unit. It's that 7-drop, 7/7 that captures. There's nothing else that's bigger than this. So Cham being able to hit the ramp here for Ray Tan just means that either Ray's looking to within out his board and start slamming damage to base.
And And this is an excellent, excellent match. And you can see the two players, going back and forth. Certainly game one was all CAD, but CAD is now on the verge with 24 damage on base, has to immediately answer the Bright Hope to avoid going to an even match. There is no timer anymore. The SCG staff has put it away. We are going to go till we get conclusion of this match.
Does Ray have an answer? It does not look like he has an answer, and we're going to go to game 3, 1-1. Tada is able to pull out. The grind happens, and when you only have 5 damage on base and you're at 10 resources, there might be a problem. That, to me, might be an issue.
Absolutely. So let's get back to the matches. This is now even 0-0. I don't know why I typed 1-1.
Sideboards are looking like they're not going to change.
Yeah, neither player is going to sideboard here. Now, sometimes actually you do sideboard for the player of the draw. I mean, there's decks where that will happen. It doesn't look like either is going to make a change. We can pop up the list for a second.
Looks like Tada's quick into the shuffling. Tada knows exactly what he's playing here.
I see Wes Sea Raptor doing calisthenics.
I gotta move, man. I've been sitting in that chair for 40 minutes waiting to play a game.
Next to me, they're on commercial break. We don't have any commercials here. Probably I should have some because this would be an appropriate thing to do. Let's hit the list. All right, so Todd is not sideboarding. I mean, key points in this match, I think we saw timely reinforcements still in play.
You did.
I mean, we certainly saw, he's not getting rid of any Luke's home ones.
We saw Rivals Fall and Regional Governor.
Right. And the regional governor was a one-of, and presented enough of a threat with Raytan knowing that it was a one-of, that he decided to get that with Bazine over some high-value targets. Though some of those high-value targets really made a difference later in that match.
You know what card we have not, a couple cards that we have not seen from Tada at all today. We have not seen the Entrench come out in this matchup. We have yet to see the Village Protectors, and we have also yet to see the Cargo Juggernauts.
Absolutely, and I think that those, I can't imagine that he removed Entrenched after seeing this list. Because you know what you don't see in this list?
Confiscate.
Right, or Fang Fighters. There is a Bamboozle.
But Bamboozle's just going to bring that right back to hand and put that right back on that unit.
So
it's going to do nothing for you.
I mean, I'd be shocked if Entrench isn't in Tada's deck. He hasn't had the opportunity to cast it. Now, entrenching something in the ground arena really can make it so that it's difficult to play there. But I've seen Entrench cast on Ray.
Yeah, just to be an instant restore monster that just doesn't ever die. We did see the Champs and Doulas coming to the side from Raytan. We have yet to see any of the cards coming out of the deck. Looks like we're getting right back into the game. Unrefusable Offer might be a card that I think is just sneaky enough and weird enough that you could pull it out.
There's a part of me that just wants to see it played.
I do, truthfully. I want it so bad. I really do. I just want to see it happen. I want to see a home one or a Luke just get replayed on a Cad Bane Tarkentide.
I mean, if it happens, I think we're going to have to do the shrug.
Oh, yeah.
So you better rig that camera up there, buddy. So, there we go. I wonder if I can find my top 8 pictures of all 8 of us doing the shrug. It's hard to say.
McClunky.
All right, let's pop into this for a second. I am going to bring up our bracket because I did save an updated bracket here.
McClunky, not only the stream, but the card. It's getting mega use out here.
Yeah, we're looking right over at the McClunky gang to our right, the C-Reactor game to our left. I'm very grateful that they came.
What are you doing tonight, Loopy?
I'm going to my cottage in Wisconsin where I've been every other Memorial Day till this one.
Oh, I love that.
But it was important to me that there be coverage here. I committed to doing both of the sectors and the regionals.
Absolutely.
And we had them, and I play well with the others. I told SCG I would play well with others if we got the coverage, and I was able to con 2 other streams to coming. So, shout out to both of them. It is not a trivial expense to move a video rig like this
Yep.
from Texas or New Jersey, depending. So please subscribe to see Raptor McClunky. Take the initiative, Bucketheads. Everybody that you have, hit us right now.
Yeah, we love
That
you so
does
much,
help.
Loopy. You're
That-
a pillar in the community, man. We love you so much.
Pillar of Salt, maybe. We'll see. All right.
You know what card we're not going to be seeing coming in from Tata
What?
is Confiscate.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's guns that you could get,
There's shields too.
but I mean, it's
Not enough for the 50 though.
not enough
That's
for the 50.
that's the real problem.
That's interesting. So Raytan is not currently seated at his desk, so not much going on at the feature table.
Looks like he had a quick bathroom break.
That does happen. That does happen.
What does when your second game goes 40 million minutes?
The
in a
last time I
grind?
had to take a bathroom break, of course, like the audio dropped from Discord. As soon as I had the audacity, to do that. But I'm a late night gamer, folks, and I've been up at 6 o'clock last 2 days trying to make these happen.
Looking at this bracket, we got some famous names on this bracket, Loopy.
Yeah, and let's kind of go through the results that got us to here. Raytan actually just sat down, so we'll be back. But Wu is already in the final, having taken the top 4 with a concession from his teammate Alex, who probably just don't want to play Wu.
Yep.
Or Tada, for that matter. Tada and Alex know each other going back. And then we have John Tada versus Raytan, yet to be determined, each even a game, going into the decisive game 3.
Ray's a little bit of a KTOD killer here. He's able to take Chrono in top 8. Can he take Tada in top 4 and face Wu for the final boss?
And I talked to Chrono, actually just as I was standing up, unhappily rebooting my hotspot. But we're hoping to do some updated Sabine content too. Sabine Green does have a masterclass that was taught by none other than John Tada. But let's see if Chrono and maybe some others that have performed well with Sabine will give us a remastered class. We're still looking for the name, but we got to do something for these decks that have one. But there's a lot change. All right, so Raytan has got quite the shuffling method there.
Yeah, I wish I was slick with the cards and quick with my fingers, but I have little sausage fingers, so I can't do quick things like that. No worries if I'm cheating. I can't sleight of hand you like that. If you're in the mind state of Ray here, it's a long day, Loopy, a long day.
Absolutely.
What are you looking for? What is the opening hand? What is the dream hand for Cad Bane Tarkentown going into this matchup?
Well, let's look at the list while they're shuffling. Let's see, I have the perfect hand. I mean, I think I want a Bazine.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can never have a Bazine. I mean, how about a McClunky?
I would also agree with that.
All right.
I wouldn't argue with a Miss Hunter. I think he was really appreciating that draws.
Yeah, I think that's actually right. I don't know. I think Mist Hunter and Houndstooth, I mean, they're similar type units. Both are underworlds, both are transports. One draws cards, one hits a little higher, and can protect the spacer. And I think Mist Hunter is the better of the two.
Yep, you're looking for answers in this.
And, I think I want a Bosk.
So,
Now, I might take a Bazine and a Now there are 2 of them if I had a Bosk too.
absolutely. Now, here's an interesting thing. I think the thing that Ray sides out in this matchup was more than likely the sneak attacks. I actually think you need units on board. You don't need the sneak attack come in and play and swing. You want units on board. You want to be able to take that stuff. Jabba King Tut says, yo, Justin, did you hit the double dissy on anyone today? I did. I did hit the double dissy on someone today. I was able to play. I ended up playing Han Yellow today in the promo side event. It was really well. I actually missed that deck so much. Kind of wish I ran it for the main event. Bazine gets dropped. Looking at Tada's hand, there's a resupply, a C-3PO, an Akbar, and a Luke unit. It looks like Ray's going to take that resupply. Yep, you're absolutely looking to take away the ramp in that. The issue that you run into is that C3PO is a difficult thing to deal with because it's a 4 health unit. You're likely going to swing into it with the Bazine unless you have the McClunky here. And it's going to draw Tada cards. And Tada already has a lot of drawing. You really don't want to see more of it. Going into 3 resources here, Dream Hand from Ray here would be the McClunky. If Tada doesn't get McClunkied here, I think Tada's... And there it is. We talked about the Dream Hand, and it looks like Ray's pulling it out.
And Ray Tan, the CAD pilot, you know.
Oh, and we see one of the cards that we haven't seen yet, which is the Spark of Hope.
And that is an important card in this deck for multiple reasons.
Your ramp means no more. When it gets peeled, and you just top deck it right into a Spark of Hope.
That's right. And it also puts that back into the row.
Bazine's going to take the Luke here.
That's there. So I'll revise my CAD Dream Hand to also include a Cham, now that that has happened.
Yeah. See, this is the problem with this discard package here coming out of the Cad Bane. You are not progressing the board state when you do a turn 1, turn 2 Bazine into a McClunky play here. You're hoping going into 4 resources that you're pulling something like the Forlom or the Bosk. There's going to be the big blue leader coming out because Tada's on 5 resources from the Spark of Hope ramp.
Absolutely.
Now, Ray does have the Tarkin Town, so all he has to do is play 1 more card. It's going to go ahead and ping the blue leader, and it's going to leave it right open for Tarkin Town. And that's exactly what Ray's going to do. I think Ray's trying to speed up the game here, but also keep the board clear. Now, I did see a Forlom pooled here, which is incredible. And because we know that he has 1 unit, 1 unit on the board, now there are 2 of them is online for a potential play.
Right.
5 resources means that a Cad Bane could come out this turn. Now, there is no Good to Me Deads in the sideboard. Boba has that sneaky trigger of the on attack. It's not going to be able to trigger Ray this turn, but Boba can reach up, which is an incredible deal. We saw last game, Ray was doing double hotshot blasters, double blickies on the Boba Fett. And there's a C3PO. 4 resources remaining for Tada. And now there are 2 of them is going to come out into Forlom.
Right.
Fantastic. This is exactly what we were looking for.
And saving 2 resources.
2 resources remaining, which can open himself up to a sneaky no good to me dead. And I think Ray has been doing that chef's kiss all day.
Right.
Is a nice bait into saying, hey, you want to flip that Ray? Maybe I have 2 resources open for a no good.
Maybe it's a Bazine. Who knows what it's going to be? What mega tricks will the old bounty hunter go? Akbar.
There's an Akbar. It's going to ping 1 damage. It's going to do it toward that Boba Fett.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Akbar or Boba Fett?
Oh, absolutely Akbar. That head is ginormous.
There you go. And just ride his scooter right over him.
Ride his scooter right over. Double blicky Boba is crazy. I agree with you. I did say double blicky Boba.
Double blicky Boba?
Boba's going to go ahead and do 3 damage to the Akbar.
But now it's a...
Looks like Big Akbar wins out in the duel against Boba.
That's right. Akbar's still swinging. He can restore.
Tada with a great read there.
Akbar's gonna go hit the gym again.
Absolutely.
Actually, it might be Ray. We'll find out.
Reading Ray here.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Ray's reading Ray, and it looks like Ray leader, Tada's going to lead off with swinging Ray into Boba Fett. It's going to have to give the resource to the Ray if he wants to live through this.
So, Tada's a pro. He's actually probably doing this drama for the stream right now, to be honest with you. Knowing the guy.
He's going to go ahead and kill the Boba Fett. He's going to put the experience token on the Ray, and Ray's going to lead off with 3 damage.
So the bounty hunter is down.
Now this opens up Ray, Cad Bane pilot, with initiative to potentially play the Zuckus to instant pop the Ray leader here, which would be incredible. But it also leaves Tada open at 7 resources for a potential Luke play going into this turn. Now, Ray, the Cad Bane player, did peel the Luke earlier in the game, but does Tada pull into the second one? Doesn't look like Tada has that many cards going into hand. Has 2 cards in hand, which has been not often for him, I will say. There's a blaster in the row coming out of Ray. Does he look to potentially go into the into something here? It's going to kill the Ray leader, but it's going to absolutely trade. with Forlom, but there is a shield on that Crafty Smuggler, and he's been doing that fantastically all day.
Right.
Daniel says restore 3. Luckily for you, there's no damage on Tata's base. There's nothing to restore. Raytan taking a second to think here before untapping his resources. Really thinking about the line play here. He knows if he makes a trade here that there's a potential for a Luke Skywalker to come out, and that is a difficult thing to deal with. It looks like there might be 2 Luke Skywalkers in the sideboard. Maybe I'm mistaken here. I don't believe there was 2. But I'm seeing a little glimpse of a green card here. It's only making me wonder.
Yeah, that's the discard pile. I think he actually Bazined maybe a Luke earlier.
He did Bazim 1, but I don't know if he got the second. Maybe he did. Okay,
Yeah.
so Zuckuss comes out. This is exactly what I was talking about. He's going to do the ping after the damage is done, and it's going to clear the board with a Zuckuss play. Absolutely fantastic.
Right, and that is a major swing in the game. And when we talked about in the Blue Masterclass just not that long ago, there, and look at that.
The first Cargo Juggernaut.
And it doesn't have a blue card to heal.
No heal.
Now there's no damage on base anyway, but
It is a 4/6 with a shield butt.
you know, Zuckuss is a saboteur.
Zuckuss is a Saboteur, and it's a 7/7. It does trade, but I don't know if you're really looking for that 7/7 to go into the cargo.
Absolutely.
Tata's going to take the initiative here.
So Cad Bane has flipped 0 damage on theirs, and I think actually Forlom is a saboteur right now too, right? Because Forlom has they're all going to hit base though. I think the whole army hit base.
So he's going to do something really nice here. He's going to do 8 damage to the base, and then he's going to take that Crafty Smuggler and trade shields here, meaning that no matter where that Cargo Juggernaut goes, besides the Cad Bane unit, he's going to take an insane amount of damage.
Absolutely.
Now, the worst fear is you know, Zuckuss with 4 remaining HP, which is fantastic. Forlom with 4 remaining HP as well. The 1/1 triggers are fantastic. Man, Jabba saying Zucky Zuck. It's Zucking for Tata right now.
Yeah, things are zucking. He's really got to find some help.
Now, we did see the Fell the Dragon in Tata's hand, which is going to instantly pop that Zuckuss if he goes for the play. It's going to leave Ray without an answer to the Cargo Juggernaut besides a Blick in the side. Vlad, I'm sorry for the comment. We're just going to have to hold through here and trust that our sweet, loopy voices are going to get us through.
And, you know, frankly, at this point, I would encourage you to just go somewhere else. How about that? So, Forlom goes and hits.
Or Cargo is going to go into the Zuckuss. It's a good trade. It's going to offer up a really great 6/6 play from Luke if he has it in hand. Looks like he's going to tap 7 cards. Maybe we're getting a Luke here. No, we're getting a Ewing reinforcement, which, you know what, can't just search for a Luke. I think if you're in Tata's position here, you are really looking for some small units. I'm thinking a Village Protector. I'm thinking potentially another Akbar for the Restore. I'm thinking maybe a Clone Deserter. Or you're looking to get online the C-3PO R2-D2 and get some card draw. Tata needs cards in his hand. He has 2 cards in hand. And Ray's classing this board masterfully. Looks like there's 15 damage on Tata's base. And what a flip of an event here. Ray without a zip of damage on his base, and Tata with the most. Now, not to be mistaken, a Ewing reinforcement can absolutely change the tide. Home
Absolutely.
1, Ewing reinforcement, Luke. It looks like it's exactly what I was saying. It's going to be a Mon Mothma, a Clone Deserter, and that's looking like a Bright Hope in space. So Tata's going to get some card draw here. And I think at this point you're looking for the home 1. You're looking for a home 1. Guys, drop in chat real quick here. What are we thinking? What are we thinking Tata's outs are here? What is Tata's position back into this game right now? Tata's going to trigger the Fleet Lieutenant, which is a great play. He's going to trigger off that Mon Mothma or the Bright Hope. Maybe playing a little bit of mind games with Ray here.
And things have gotten a little bit unzucky for Tata.
Unzucky for Tata, absolutely.
Hopefully there's not another Zuckuss coming, because the last thing he needs to see is an ambushing 7/7 Saboteur right now.
Absolutely. So he's going to trigger the Mon Mothma for the card draw, and then the Bright Hope for the card draw off the Mon Mothma. This is exactly what Tata needs. He has to get cards. Off aspect SLB from Vlad. I didn't see that in the board, but we could see a nebula ignition.
I imagine. I don't think that's in the board either.
And it's not, but it would be great, right?
But it'd be great right now. And, you know, how good is Justin right now? You know, I appreciate him,
appreciate y'all.
taking him. And every time I've needed to step up, I'm actually coordinating all of the stuff between the 3 streams right now.
Yeah, he stole me from a Twin Suns game.
That's right. You know, I bribed him over to come and help, but actually, really, Justin is a good friend and is, you know, one of the people that has helped coverage improve as we get a little bit better every time.
No, I appreciate that. Love seeing you. Love seeing you, Loop. Unzucky for Tada. All right, let's chill on the Zuckus memes until we get another Zuck out. You know what I'm saying? We gotta see another Zuck before things get crazy here.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to you know, hold me back from making dad jokes, my friend. So
Ray's gonna go for the discard pile here. Maybe we get confirmation on the double Luke in the discard pile. I mean, if there's 2 Lukes in the discard pile, that really opens up something. It looks like it wasn't, and I was mistaken. So it's only 1 Luke in the discard, 1 U-wing. Playing a few Lukes in a row might help swing the board back, but it takes time. Agreed, Daniel. Agreed. I think a home 1 is gonna get the trade here. And surprisingly, Tada has not played anything like a Village Protector or any Sentinel, any Ground Sentinel to kind of stop the burn here. 23 damage onto to Tada's base. We did see a Boba Data Vault yesterday. There was a Boba Data Vault on a day 2. There was 1 Boba Data Vault on day 2. Josh Doe.
Yeah, and I have there's a Madison local that plays new Boba Green. It's not fun.
It's a painful deck.
It is a painful deck.
You get a Planetary Bombardment or an Oberon Barrage at the wrong time, it's hurtful.
Right. But Tada's fighting for his regional life here. Great player, many accomplishments, but, you know, would like to be the first North American, you know, champion. Has taken 23 damage to base.
0.
To 0 on Cad Bane, and really has to find some answers in a hurry. Now let's turn this back. I mean, what do you see as the path for Ray from here?
Well,
what could happen?
You already got a beautiful hot shot. A nice little blicky on the Cad Bane here. Hit him with a Trick or Treat. Now, if you play another Zuckus, it's going to get the bounty claim on that Clone Deserter and just put a lot of pressure onto Tada's base. I mean, how much can you deal with it? Now, Tada just replenished his hand. It was incredible how he went from 2 cards to about 5 or 6 right now, which is an incredible feat. There is a Fel the Dragon still in Tada's hand, which means that if a Zuckus or a Cad Bane unit comes out, there's an immediate response to the board.
Absolutely.
I think that at this point, if you're Ray Tan, you have the pressure here.
Right.
You're up. You're the aggressor. You're the winner in this trade out here. And it's going to take a few actions from Tada to be able to kind of restore back this pressure. So if you have a surprise strike or you have anything, you're just slamming. The Trick or Treat.
Which of your compatriots is that?
It's Julian. It's Julian on chat right now. He's texting in our group chat.
Absolutely.
Tada with 1 million resources.
Let's go. That's 8.
And that's a home 1.
Which is much needed right here.
Are we seeing another blue leader?
Well,
there's not 2 resources remaining.
It's
an snack bar.
The snack bar.
Snack bar comes out. It's going to be 6 to base. It's going to check Tada. Put him at 29 damage. Which means that Tada's going to have to swing with both Clone Deserter and the Bright Hope to try to get some pressure on a base. Now, there's no way to ready a unit besides sneak attacks, so maybe I'm mistaken for taking those sneak attacks out.
Right, so the Clone Deserter attacks into Forlom.
It's going to trade.
Trading him allows Cad to draw a card, but you got other problems. The restore is much needed here.
27 damage onto the Data Vault base. Now, there's 7 resources up for Ray here. Do we see a Cad Bane to capture that home 1?
We could. Just
going to instantly put Tada into check. Looks like
26.
Ray passes, maybe. 1 resource remaining. Ray's going to go ahead and put a experience token onto the Bright Hope. It looks like...
I think he claimed.
It looks like Ray claimed. It looks like we might have a surprise strike.
Is there a surprise or a hot shot blaster?
I
think we might have a dual wield, my friend.
It looks, and the Cad Bane Showcase art is a dual wield, so it'd make it only the most amount of sense. Claim and swing for 6. He needs 1 more. The restore 1, yeah, the double restore there was a big deal. Does he have the other blicky? Maybe even Ray miscounted for this, going into the discard pile. It looks like he miscounted.
I thought the early claim meant there was a hot shot blaster or a pump.
I mean,
He might have some work to do. Now, he's still in commanding lead this game, but he may have some work to do because that home 1 can hit for 7, restore 3.
Look, it's been a long day, so a miscount doesn't surprise me. But it doesn't mean that Ray's in a bad position, even with the miscount. Daring Raid Finisher, he doesn't actually have it in deck. The only red card in the deck is a hot shot, which you just consider a yellow card if you ask me. If Ray has the answer here, he plays it. I don't think there's any question, thought, or a process about that. If he has the answer, the lethal blow, he just plays it.
If he had a pump, we wouldn't be thinking this hard.
No,
Absolutely.
he would just play it. Absolutely, right out of hand.
Or out of the row, depending.
This is true.
So, he can do 6, which takes him to 32.
Ray going for the resource here.
Maybe he's just building suspense for us.
Vlad saying, I've had opponents forget everything gets restored with home 1 out and lost because of it. This is true.
That is true.
Especially when you've been playing 14 rounds of Star Wars Unlimited. It might be a little hard to remember some small triggers here, even in the top 4. These incredible players. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Ray has a plan here.
Well, he doesn't have... I don't think he has CAD unit either, because CAD unit capturing Bright Hope seems like the... Or excuse me, not... home 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to turn off the restore seems the obvious play on initiative.
Not to forget, though, Tada does have the Fell the Dragon in hand.
Right.
So there will be an immediate response.
It
There's
will be
6 to base. It's going to put Tada into checkout with 1 remaining HP. Tada has the world of restore on the board.
Right, because home 1 restores for 2. Akbar restores for 2 because of the extra one from home 1. Bright Hope restores for 1.
That's 5
there
restore
might be blue
this
leaders.
turn.
Anything that ambushes get you a restore.
It's going to be
Can we stabilize? What a match. What a match, Justin.
an absolute grind fest.
We are in the final moments of Game 3
You got to
of
imagine
the semifinal.
You got to imagine it ends in the next 2 turns. There's a Fleet Lieutenant. It's going to go Akbar into the Cad Bane, which is going to leave it open for the blue leader. Tada has an answer for everything here.
No. You don't get to this level by being bad at SWU.
Tada down to 30 HP. Still has 3. He's going to waylay the home 1.
That's big. That's big. Now, what's left? There's 5 left. I think he is going to finish it off with blue leader.
Tada's gonna have to play the 5.
Right.
Get a kill, but he doesn't get the restore off of it. And the blue leader is gonna take 4.
And but that's big. I mean, Cad Bane hits for 4, but he only hits back for 2 naturally. Now his gun makes him hit back for 4. But that blue leader being alive is a huge problem because Bright Hope can soak 7 in the space arena from Cad Pings.
Yeah, I mean we're in desperation mode from Ray. You're getting so close, and you're gonna have to find a way to fight this board back.
Is there a Bazine down there? Please, a Bazine to get rid of that home 1 from the hand.
So we're playing a Jabba.
There's no Bazine. What trick does he find? What trick are you looking for? If you're playing Cad Tarkenton?
I'm looking for a trick or a treat, and that's definitely McClunky.
Waylay's a trick. Rayleigh's a trick.
Waylay, actually, I'm mistaken. Waylay was the right trick, yes.
Right, because he's setting that up for next round. Because I don't know that... So now, actually, I mean, he's at 30. We're going to improve our dial game. We're going to actually sub over to other dials for the next match as soon as I can. But for now, it is 30 damage on
Tada's base. To 5
5
on right hands. Tada has a long way to go before this game is looking like it's going to end. Ray tasting the win there with 1 damage left on Tada's base just moments ago. 32 damage.
Absolutely.
Tasting the win there. Maybe miscounting just a tiny bit on that double restore play from the home 1.
Or he didn't have a... I mean, perhaps, but I mean, maybe just didn't have anything to play at that point. I mean, he might have drawn the Jabba since.
This is true.
I think he must have top decked the Waylay because you would have waylaid the home 1. But he's now got another Waylay in hand. We know that Tada's hand consists of it, and he's playing aggressively. He's playing for the win. He's going to find one of his guns. This is maybe Von Mossma's biggest moment.
Yep. Seeing if he can pull a Luke or another home 1. potentially even another Fleet Lieutenant just to
And
start
the 5
pressuring
cards.
damage, and it's going to be an Akbar.
And I've seen Akbar is good right now.
But can Akbar do 8? That's the real question.
Not yet, but maybe.
Now, one of my favorite things going against Cad Bane Tarkentowns is seeing a Jabba hold a blaster. I'd love to see that here.
16 damage on Cad's base, I think.
No. 6.
6 damage. He concedes. All right, Tada goes through.
Wait,
What
who concedes?
Match.
Really? Not a single Cad Bane unit played that entire game.
And still able to proceed. So our final will be Ray Tan piloting Cad Bane Tarketown against Wu piloting Kira Green. And as much as Ray Vault is probably a matchup that we've seen Ray Tan play against, I mean, Kira is an entire beast. Well, so before we let you go, Justin, what do you think about that match?
Man, traditionally, I think Kira Dadival has an insane play style into the Cad Bane Tarketown. I think Cad Bane Tarketown is traditionally just not that great of a deck into that match. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of Kira Dadivolts that presented here at this tournament, and you got to imagine that Ray has teched and thought and processed that out. There's no chance that Ray hasn't thought about that matchup. And this is where cards like Unrefusable Offer and No Good to Me Dead come into the board. These cards change the game.
Absolutely.
Here, play an Avenger? I'll take it. Play Devastator for 10? Great, that's mine. Yum, 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 yum. Here's a Cad Bane unit. I'm going to turn around your Avenger, and now I'm hitting you for 8. That's exactly what Ray wants to play here, and I think he's going to do it really, 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 really well. Congratulations to Ray. He's taking a KTOD kill spree here. Let's see what he does in the finals. Congratulations to both players. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Oh, and thank you for having it. And I absolutely mean I hope to do more commentary. We can do it remotely. We do it all the time, and I hope to be working with you. I'm sure we will going forward as we get into it, because I know coverage is near and dear to our hearts. Everybody, if you haven't subscribed to Bucketheads, please give them a like, subscribe, hit us up at Late Night Gaming, and take the initiative while you're at. And we will be back with the final just after this. get this up or not.
No big if not.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
What's up, Star Wars Unlimited fans? We are here for the final, and we are going to be three-manning this. It's going to be myself, Rebel Traitor, and our good friend Jeff Creasy from Colorado, who's, between the three of us, we've done a whole mountain of coverage, so we're here to take you home. So, Jeff, how has you enjoyed the regional so far?
Oh, I loved it. This has been this has been my favorite weekend of Star Wars ever. This has been an awesome weekend.
Absolutely. So, what do you think about Wu's list? I mean, he's obviously had a great tournament so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's only had one loss over the entire weekend. He's been crushing the entire tournament. He was 2 wins ahead of anyone else by the end of Swiss. He's been killing it. I know a lot of people thought Kira was going to be a solid meta call, and I think some of the inclusions that he's made, like the Agent Callus and stuff like that, have really paid dividends and had a lot of big impact on his results.
Yeah, and actually we were talking about Callus, both on the record at the Masterclass and off, and there. And I think actually I see movement over on the screen. Not so much. I just talked to Raytan, who's from Columbus, Ohio. Great player. I actually recognized him from past times at the last PQ. We had talked once I was able to see the front of his face.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I'm gonna keep working on.
Yeah, I'm always interested when I see Kira lists and see one-ofs and data vault lists, but they're very impactful in certain times. When you see, like, the Eager Escort Fighter has so many applications in the current meta, whether you're trying to kill a Falcon against Han 1, or you're trying to kill a Viktor leader against Vader, or you're trying to just fight back for the board, or you Kira flip and you can kill an 8 health guy. Yeah, if you're up against a home 1, you flip Kira, then Eager Escort, and it kills it. Like, that card's so versatile in this list. And then I think Snoke is making a big comeback again. A lot of that can be because of Vader. And other, like, Snoke is so good against a lot of the decks right now. And then, yeah, we talked about the Callus as well. There's some really cool inclusions in Wu's list, and then obviously he's an incredible player, which helps a lot too.
Yeah, and you guys are both watching. I know Jeff was over in the peanut gallery.
Oh, yeah.
That SCG has rigged over on the side. But, I mean, I thought Tada played an expert match.
Oh, he
not
always
just 'cause
does.
He's standing 10 feet from me. Am I buttering
Yeah,
him up?
I was actually... Sorry, go ahead, RT.
Yeah, no, I think that he played well. I want to say haven't seen these two lists. I did not know Ray Stan's list before today, but I want to say that CAD deck is probably pretty favored into Revolt because we saw the match against Secret Conroe, and we saw Tada, and there's really a lot of synergy there for CAD Bane into those kind of big wide decks.
He did, yeah, 2-1. It was the first round of this morning today when they were both X1.
All right, let me pop back over and show that nasty CAD Bane list.
Yeah, so many red cards in the CAD Bane list. There are 2 in the 60. So really... 2 Chams in the sideboard are the only red cards in this entire CAD Bane list.
And it's...
That is not a red card, sir.
he will die on that hill. But I recounted during the coverage about, my conversation with exactly Wu when we were talking about CAD Bane and Tarkentown that, I mean, despite that, I think I actually asked him whether this should be a cunning deck. And, I mean, I think by the time we talked it out, the Tarkentown is just worth it as the red card by itself.
If you're going to go cunning, I would go Lake Country. The question is, do you want Tarkentown or do you want 9 health?
Right.
That's the question for CAD Bane right now, in my opinion.
Yep, and I think that is. And we would have had Sharky come in, who's a great CAD. He actually played CAD Lake Country.
He went X3 with it. He lost a win-in for day 2 yesterday with CAD Lake Country.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll be hearing from him, but shout out to the Colorado Cantina crew, all they do. Oh,
yeah.
And your neck of the woods.
Yeah, love those guys.
So what else do you think about this CAD Bane list?
It's a really interesting list. I feel like we haven't seen, now there are 2 of them, that impactful in a while. It was really good for Ray before, and it's just really impactful just in terms of saving resources so that you can play extra cards, threaten Bazines, threaten no-goods, and things like that. I've always loved Jabba in CAD lists. He's so hard to kill. And the fact that he finds now there are 2 of them, he finds your bamboozles, he finds your sneak attacks, your waylays. Like, there's so much versatility that Jabba gets you, and then you put a gun on him and he's just a 4/8 that no one can kill. I've always loved Jabba and CAD, and Sharky has beaten me with Jabba and CAD many times.
Yeah, and I actually I joked with Carlos Torres, Yoda Killer, about stop telling the CADs to play Jabba. Because, I mean, as Quinlan, I mean, that one card, Jabba being able to pull those tricks significantly changes what I think is going to happen that match. Because, I mean, if they're not actually running the Jabba or they don't find him, usually you're able to really top deck CAD in a very serious way.
Yeah.
And then set up a major force throw, if you can find one of those, and somehow protect it from Bazine. But, I mean, just the extra card draw that Jabba provides. And I've had my eyes open to Miss Hunter.
Yeah.
What about that use in this CAD list?
It's a really cool... Or you go ahead, RT. I talked a bunch before.
Yep, and I mean, Wu's obviously a great player, great content creator, good friend. We were talking about the Calluses, and you know, if you saw as they were reviewing the deck list, Ray has to read Callus, which
Well,
Ray can.
I think it's worth reading because even if you don't see that card that often, and there's a lot of intricacies with, is it when it completes an attack, does Callus have to survive the ambush? There are a lot of questions about when you draw a card, and the fact that Callus doesn't even have to survive the ambush, the other unit just has to die. I think it's worth reading cards that you don't see that often just to make sure you understand the full intricacies of the card.
And you're allowed to do that during deck list review. You can ask to see the cards and read. Oh, so actually, hold on.
Yeah, I can't see chat, so it's hard for me to see. Oh, there's a. Well, man, you guys missed some amazing analysis. That was RT. You were so spot on with everything. Fully agree.
Well, we're gonna transition here. All right, they can hear you now.
Yeah, you just have to trust that everything I said was really smart.
Yeah, RT has really made a lot of good points, and why don't you please repeat them, beginning to end right now?
Oh god, there's so many of them.
All right, so we're in studio mode as the cards are shuffling. I honestly don't remember if it was when we were chatting before or after the masterclass or during the Cure Master class when we were talking about Callus, but into a deck with Bazines, into a meta that has a lot of Mon Mothma, and really Callus is getting there. And I'll tell you what, if anybody's looking at set 5, Callus and Revan is not an unreasonable card. You know, as we have that, so if you want to play some Revan ECL, which is kind of a cool deck. Yeah, Symbiode is exactly right. Doesn't RT make a lot of good points?
Yeah. For me, Callus is always about the units that are popular in the meta. Even in set 1 and set 2 times, Callus was good if 4 health units were good. If the ambush can kill a lot of things, it's good. The problem was, with a Tarkentown meta, all the decks shifted to, I want to play 3/5s. I need a 5 health unit to survive ping Tarkentown, and that made Callus a lot worse.
And actually, now that I've seen Raytan's face, you know, I recognize his shuffling from being at a PQ. So it's that he's got a unique way of doing it, and a lot of CCG players do. And you know, I never knew till I started playing Star Wars Unlimited that riffle shuffling, as he just did, will tilt some CCG players. So I will do that too if somebody seems annoyed by that.
Another thing that I did this weekend that tilted a lot of people was I don't have a Vader showcase. I couldn't even find a hyperspace Vader. I was playing Vader 4 yellow, so I had unsleeved leader in base, and so I just put him out unsleeved against these guys with showcases and screwed in heart. People got so
right. I won a big walk in 1K. Actually, I beat Carlos Apodaca in the final at that with a non-hyperspace resistance screen base Dakar. Whatever it is, because we did not own a hyperspace because I got so much carbonite as opposed to the normal boxes. We did not have a hyperspace base, so you know I ran a similar thing. But both these guys have showcases. Wu is of course Mr. Kira. Kira is Bae, I think is actually the quote that he'll say. And Cad Bane is one of the coolest looking showcases in my book.
Yeah. Well, that's why they give showcases to the top 64 to make sure that showcases are on coverage.
Right.
I mean, Tada got his 4 top 8.
And, you know, both of these guys, I think we can say, will be having a second of each of those showcases right there. So if anybody's looking for a Kira showcase, just DM Wu, subscribe to his channel, look it up, and Raytan might have an extra CAD for you. Jan, who's the leader against Cad Bane? The leader against Cad Bane is Kira, which is a blue control leader. I mean, I think that actually her flip is the reason that she is played significantly. I mean, of all of the blue villain leaders, blue villain is a very strong aspect, but by herself, she has the ability to even a match and trade with most leaders.
Yeah. RT, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm a Kira player. It's one that I'm always scared of, but I always feel fairly confident in. But a good CAD player can really get you. Although I will say one of the big things that I'm scared of in this matchup is usually Ruthless Raider, and we know that Ray's not playing that.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Ruthless is not a card that Kira wants to see. I mean, one significant difference in the match we just watched that was on Data Vault is Wu has 3 barrages, which we'll see how those come into play. The opening was a Bazine. followed by a Hylaban.
Yeah. So Bazine takes the resupply, and then we see the shield on the Hylaban. And I'm curious if we'll see a relentless pursuit here, because you can get the bounty to draw the card. So that's something to watch out for with Wu playing the bounty units against this deck that we already know has multiple relentless pursuits in the main. And then I'm curious when we'll see the Tarkin Town usage as well, because Kira obviously damages a lot of units, so it's usually you have a lot of options for when to Tarkin Town. And we'll see what we get here out of Cad Bane, starting with the Cartel Spacer. So just tapping it, pinging off the shield, so that's really nice. Power of the Dark Side.
Ooh.
So
I mean,
Who do you sack here?
yeah, that I think you take. I think you
probably Bazine.
I don't know.
My thought was sack the Spacer, because you might want to McClunky the Bazine and play it more, and you're just taking that option off the table. But if you don't have the McClunky now, then you think the Hylaban's probably going to kill the Bazine anyway.
Right.
And you don't want to burn your Tarkin Town, it looks like.
And I think
Yeah.
that is exactly right. And we know that Raytan expertly saves Tarkin Town, and we saw that during rain. I don't know if he'll save
there's
Tarkin
the
Town
four
quite as
long.
long into Kira. But one card that Wu is running in his list wasn't in his last list, but we talked about it at the masterclass, and two of them in the 60 today is Snoke, which is a horrible card. for
No play
Yellow
from
Legacy.
Wu. So 4 resource turn with nothing to do for Wu. That is not where he wants to be. But he's still got a ton of time to figure it out. It's not a game-ending kind of play. It's just you have to try to catch back up on tempo. And maybe he did this because he has something that he wants to try to deal with the 4 line. Didn't want to throw something out that would just get eaten easily. But not where he wants to be.
I
Yeah,
think
maybe he
not-
has
not spending
maybe he has
any
devastating
resources
gunship.
there is much
Yeah.
more indicative of a brick. Now, it might be devastating gunship coming up.
He
but-
had a devastating gunship when he got Bazined,
Right.
so I'd imagine he just still has it.
Right. That's true. So, yeah, gunship is a good, excellent play right now. But,
Yeah.
I mean, certainly if he had any kind of ramp, which is what he would have wanted there, he would have played it.
Yeah, we saw the Bazine take the resupply there as well.
Right.
But I mean, it's a thing about data vaults is you see more blank turns like that. That's the
Right.
that's the problem with that base. But the 3 extra health has come up huge a lot, and also the redundancy in card selection, where you get to put some of these silver bullets, like one-ofs that Wu has, that you wouldn't put in a 50 card deck. They would be cut. But the fact that you even have access to them could be considered a plus.
And that's
it-
the blessing and the curse. I mean,
Yeah.
basically every data vault deck can hit a little harder, right? Because if it still hits the cards it needs,
yeah.
it's very, very strong. But, you know, as here, I guarantee you that Wu would have kept 2 ramp had he could. Because
Oh,
he knows
absolutely.
Bazine is coming.
Mhm.
And, I mean, he didn't see it. He saw 1, and she got it.
Yeah. Interesting to see the CAD ping here, because the devastating gunship is just going to get bigger and bigger until it dies. So it makes me think that Ray has a plan here.
Yeah, could be McClunky. Could be. I don't know. That's the main thing I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, did we just lose the feed?
Yep. Sounds like my headphones. Rebel RT just asked if we lost the feed.
Oh, I think it's back.
So, I just said goodbye to Just In Case. He's leaving back to Texas. He's got a long drive ahead of him. So, how good was he? The last round of commentary.
I can't hear you on my headphones anymore. I don't know if the sound.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, RT. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right. My headphones just changed sound, so I didn't know if we had a sound issue or if we're good.
Yeah, no, we don't have a sound issue.
Oh, that's weird.
We have all 3 of the streams sharing the same camera right now, so this is not anywhere on our.
Hey, okay.
We'll be back.
Let's see. I'm just looking at the Sea Raptor stream, and I'll try to do like radio style play-by-play.
Yeah, why don't we do that for now?
So okay, so they went into a new round. Ray played Surprise Strike on the Spacer to kill the gunship. Wu plays Callus into Greedo, draws a card. Greedo misses, discards a Bazine.
Callus and Degredo is good. That's huge.
All right, we are back.
Welcome back, us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Callus being the only unit on board after the Greedo makes it a little rough. Like, Wu knows that Callus is just going to die. It feels like he's just trying to dig for cards.
Yeah. And trying to set up a good Kira flip.
Yeah.
You know, avoid having to flip it preemptively.
Mm-hmm. When do you want to flip here? Is the goal to try to wait until after CAD flips?
Yeah, usually. Because CAD is just so much health.
It feels like an interesting dance because CAD attack could kill Kira, but I guess if you're Kira, you're okay with that. If they just want to trade their CAD into your Kira, like that's all you would want to do anyway.
Yep, and I see that
Usually that's fine, yeah.
Ray has, now there are two of them,
Yeah, it looks like we see a Zuckuss too,
and a Zuckuss.
and a Forlom.
So he's got both of the Vash brothers. One card I could not see on the far left, but it might have actually been a Cad Bane unit.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it looked like.
It looks like Ray has some options. So he goes with the now. Is he gonna now the Jabba?
Jabba is.
So he can now Jabba, and if Wu flips, then he has the Forlom there. Now Wu's going to be able to read this Forlom pretty easily because that's the main reason. And now there are two of them to keep 4 resources up. So I would imagine Wu's not just going to run into this unless he has no other choice. But it's cool play.
I mean, I think Wu feels comfortable with the position right now. We are going to see the Kira flip.
Yeah.
Eat up a ton of Jabba health.
Yeah.
All right.
Forlom immediately comes down. Crafty just lost his shield. Both of these players know the moves back and forth.
Yeah.
That's rough. But
I think that Wu feels pretty good about it.
Yeah, I think he knew that, and I think he knew that that the Forlom was what was going to happen. Like that's the main reason I think to leave it, unless he thought Ray maybe was bluffing. So I think he may be just trying really hard to get Jabba off the field before he gets a blaster.
And he is doing exactly what I would, which doesn't surprise me, which is flooding the board.
Yeah.
The more units you can play against Cat, the worse his leader ability is.
Mhm.
And he has the inevitability of this match.
Yeah.
If this goes really late, I mean, blue-green villain has the trump cards.
Mhm.
But he needs to get through these next few turns.
Yeah.
To do that. And healthy, and he's only taken 4 damage, so there's 29 to go.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too. The Ray has options where he can I can flip Cat, attack the Hylabon, and draw a card. Well, but then that's 4 less damage that you're dealing to base. So it's, Wu's just kind of like, hey, piece candy. You want this little shiny piece candy?
We talked about
yeah, in addition to that, it also sets up Maul to kill Cad.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's a bait that Ray probably needs to avoid, even though it's hard to use your leader ability when this grit guy is just chilling there. But it makes the difference. There can be some stark differences here if he tries to flip, kill the Hylabon, and take the card.
absolutely. And I think that was a leader well spent.
Yeah, and there goes the Tarkin Town.
Right. And, to the comments in the chat, I mean, I guarantee you that Ray did not miss that he could have Tarkin Town the Hylabon.
Yeah.
But he didn't value the card draw that much, and it saved him from a Vader.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's up against multiple Vaders and Mauls, and he's going to have to fight for the board late game. I think the later you can hold the Tarkin Town, and I think ideally use it like he did. You want a Tarkin Town to protect your leader flip. He made Kira flip first, which was step 1 in being helpful, holding out the board. And then step 2 is, okay, now I use the Tarkin Town to kind of clear the way. Now Wu needs a second big thing to deal with this Cad. He does do what we talked about, take out the Hylabon. So now Maul is live. Oh, Super Laser Blast. Okay.
That's just as well.
And he's going to get a Mist Hunter.
Ooh, into the Mist Hunter. So I'm curious how long this Mist Hunter can stay around between powers or removal spells, because if Ray gets a few cards off this, like the damage is helpful. He obviously needs to get in damage, but if he can get a couple of cards off this to help refill, that's going to be huge.
So we're talking about.
But Wu's going into 9 resources, and you know what card is cost 9 in the stack.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, against one unit out. So I don't think that Mist Hunter is long for this world.
Yeah.
And nothing really is long for this world against Kira Datavo. I mean, you got to
True.
take hits when you can.
Well, game 1 is long for this world.
Game 1, actually, Wu's I think first 2 matches. I mean, by round 3 or 4 yesterday when I talked to him, he had played 2 Kira mirrors, which can be exhausting. But I mean, he brought his restocks, just for those because they tend to win the Kira mirror.
Yeah.
If one has them and the other
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see if he has the power of the Avenger. Obviously, the plays that you might most want to see here, if you're Wu. But I mean, it also depends on it. Do you just slam the Avenger if you're worried about a Cad Bane unit? He goes with a Reinforcement Walker.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he
would
has
have slammed Avenger there if I had it.
Yeah. I agree, because you also have so many answers for Cad unit if that is exactly what he plays. And now he gets to draw a card off the Mist Hunter. So Mist Hunter card count 1.
Yeah, actually, my mic was not on, so I was picking up into Jeff's, is what was happening there, but we unmuted it now.
Oh, great. I was going to mention that after game 1.
I told you my headset started sounding different.
Yep, absolutely. But I'm having to deal with the technical issues for
Yeah.
a couple of streams right now. So
Loopy's a busy guy.
that is a busy
We
guy.
got this.
Yeah, we got this. We got two of the best in the business here. Fell the Dragon hits Zuckus.
Zuckus the Dragon is no more. Long live Zuckus. And this is another
What happened to the Walker?
the Walker got... What did happen to the Walker? Did he waylay it
I
last
think
turn?
we might have waylaid
I
it.
think it might have been
Oh,
waylaid.
yeah. That's what I get for
Yeah.
looking away for
But,
a second.
I mean, that drew him a card. Cad Bane hits an empty board.
Interesting. So I mean, I think this is just Ray saying that he needs
Damage.
to start getting damage into the base.
And to draw a card, don't forget Cad Bane is in fact a bounty hunter.
That's
You know,
true.
he's probably, other than Boba Fett, the most famous bounty hunter in Star Wars. And he is hoping he can keep that Mist Hunter alive.
He can. He gets a second card off the Mist Hunter card count 2.
Yep. So I will note that Wu is slotting Phase 3 Dark Trooper, and I will know that Wu sent about 15 memes to me about Phase 3 Dark Trooper being the same as Cell Block Guard as we were going into Set 2, but, you know, they're not exactly the same. There's one a little bit better than the other.
Yeah, one's a clone.
Absolutely. I hear C Raptor apologizing for the league. His camera is hosting it, so we can do the 3 productions, and I could provide out perfect video quality otherwise, but I'd rather have all of us be able to carry the final. All right, so Wu has
5 and an OB.
super
Yeah.
laser attack. Yep, here comes the
Ooh.
OB.
So we got up to a count of 2. So the Mist Hunter drew 2 cards. Did 6 damage. Not too shabby.
Yep. So, I mean, Ray
Yeah.
has made a dent in the 33 health data vault. Cad Bane is blocked by a Phase 3 Dark Trooper with Sentinel. And, you know, shockingly, the Barrage plus the Phase 3 plus the Super Laser Tech, what was that add up to?
3 plus
7.
1 plus
Yeah, and
2
how much health
plus
does Cad
1.
have?
7.
Yeah.
I know that one.
This
8?
This Wu guy is good at cards. I wonder if he should do this more. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see a shield Wu right now from Kira.
Yeah. This move I really like from Ray, whenever you're playing against a control player and deciding what to play
Right.
around, it is incredibly relevant to know what they've already played, to know how many Fell the Dragons, how many Calluses, Super Laser Blasts, especially when you've seen their list. So you know what he knows what he's on, and now he's trying to decide what do I play around.
And I'd be real surprised if Ray Tan didn't watch Wu's content. I mean, we knew that he was going to be here. Everybody knew that he was going to be here, and is very familiar with that Kira list. Wu, not so much. I mean, he knows what's in the Cad Bane list. He is a Cad Bane Tarkenton player. I know that. He has Cad Bane Tarkenton content, and he's a good guy. But he didn't know about the changes Ray had made until, at a minimum, the beginning of the Top Cut, when the list went open, right? And I think that Ray really saw something about the meta here with going back to the Bash Brothers, and now there are 2 of them, Cad Tarkentons, and some other innovations that have given him an edge in a lot of matchups. But I don't know that Kira is what he wants to see in the final. We'll see if he can find a way.
Yeah. CAD is a deck that scared me a lot coming into this weekend. I only had to play against it once, and I did get there. But yeah, I think CAD was fairly well positioned this weekend. And I mean, obviously Ray sitting here in the finals, he made a good deck choice and piloted it very well. Second barrage on to the phase 3.
Let's go.
Ooh. And that's 7.
Overwhelming. That is so whelming.
I've been overwhelmed. Overwhelming Barrage is one of the coolest looking hyperspaces that exist.
It is. I have a hyperspace one and a hyperfoil, and I wish I could play the hyperfoil in my competitive decks, but what can you do?
And the atmosphere here at the Minnesota Regional certainly cleared out from before. I mean, this room was packed elbows wide before, and now it's a lot of empty space, but we still have a significant crowd waiting in person watching these matches.
Yeah.
I think all the sides are stopped. Maybe there's one pod of some kind going still.
Yeah.
But this is, I believe, the last of the day. And we have 2 crowds, one on TV strings that SCG has jury-rigged for the fans, and then others by the table itself. Now they're having to say aside, I really do appreciate the SCG staff. You know,
all right, there she is.
Ooh, we've been avenged.
And now CAD has to go wide.
I think we're pretty close to now CAD going to game 2, I think. But yeah.
Right.
We see another Jabba. I mean, I say that jokingly, but he's got he's got like 3 turns basically, right? He's dead in 3 turns, so he's Waylay's what you got. That can save you a turn. So Waylay plus go wide, because he's got to save himself the damage and get the extra fodder so that he doesn't die to the Avenger.
All right, if he waylays here, his job is just going to get Avengered immediately to start a next round.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waylay doesn't feel good against Avenger, does it?
No.
Saves some health. But there's not a lot of Avenger answers in the deck. Now, Avenger has 8 health, Cad Bane can capture up to 8, so there's that. But there's so many tools that Wu has to remove a Cad Bane that just brings it back without its when played, but it's back at full health.
Mm-hmm.
There's no possible thing that I can do to fix the stream is being shared from a different thing. It is on that end. Wish I had something.
So we see McClunky bouncing the Jabba back to hand to deal 3 to the Avenger. So saving the Waylay for the next thing, and going to try to see if he can get the damage in to kill the Avenger. Replaying the Jabba. So Jabba's not getting saved. Jabba is looking for more answers and going to get sacrificed here to this Avenger attack, it looks like. So we see another McClunky. So he could McClunky the Jabba again. And then any Underworld card would kill the Avenger if it attacks first. Or if it doesn't attack and they play a unit, then you could waylay the unit. You can play this whole waiting game now. So I would imagine we might see the second McClunky for free to get the Avenger up to 7 damage.
Yeah, I mean, that sets up like a CAD kill onto it next turn if we doesn't have a blocker unit.
So what are your thoughts, RT, on if you would would you Avenger attack knowing that an Underworld card is going to kill it, or would you try to save your Avenger?
Let's see. Knowing that Ruthless Raider isn't in the deck, if I had like a good unit to play like a Reinforcement Walker or something, I'd probably play that first.
That's totally fair. That's a really good. Well, it looks like he was going for the damage. Does that signify that he just thinks he has a strong hand and he can start getting in damage?
Probably. But he likes to play pretty aggressively anyway.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Because I feel like it's a safe bet that CAD has an Underworld card in his hand.
Yeah. And there we go.
Yeah, so we see the Houndstooth come out, kill the Avenger.
Are they still going right now?
Snoke comes out for Wu. So this is the one of in the main that we saw that
still playing. Well,
This is another
Top
bomb.
your
This to me kind of makes the Avenger attack make sense. He wanted to get in the 8 now, and he knows that this cat has fewer answers to the Snoke.
I already broke down everything.
yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Right. No, I get it, but that takes us away from being able to go to Plan B, right? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I thought you were okay.
No, I mean, it's been tough. I mean, I'm used to this.
Devastating gunship
Ooh.
plus the
You guys
Snoke,
are, but-
so that he can kill the Houndstooth because Houndstooth is a 2-1 with Snoke out. So
So it has recovered. There's not
Yeah.
lagging anymore right now.
Ray should have a blaster still with this Zekis does kill Snoke.
yeah,
So that's an out.
What?
Although, dude,
I
where's
guess
the
we're gonna
shield
pound
going?
through.
Okay.
I think we should have went with Plan B.
Oh, of course, yeah. Shield has to go to gunship because then Saboteur could kill Snoke.
Well, no, I'm doing it, but I got.
yes, yeah, exactly. The Saboteur defeating the shield on attack. So we may see a surprise strike in to kill this or a blaster,
Actually, right
but
now
yeah.
it's good again. You know, so we'll see, but I mean, we gotta try sometimes. The chat is actually supportive, shockingly. You know, so we got. I mean, I haven't yet said that you're the complaint department, but I was getting there.
All right, Ray's action.
Ray's action, we see the
Gotta be
Zekis
considering-
down. Yeah.
He's got to be considering whether or not to kill the Snoke or whether just to go to base.
And we no longer have the problem of time. I mean, there is not a timer up. I don't think that they're timing the final in any way. So, you know, the whole concede game 1 to make sure that you have more games doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Both of these players want to be the champion. And both of them are getting a flight to Vegas. I don't know if Raytan already had a bye. Certainly Wu did, winning a PQ the other day, and he had one long before that, actually. But here we go with the bragging rights to be the
Yeah.
first North American champion of the regional qualifier. Raytan's
Another
playing.
Java.
He's maybe in large part playing it out right now. It's tough to beat Kira with that many resources.
Yeah. I would
Yeah,
love to
he's-
give a shout out to everyone in the top 8 that already had a bye. I was able to get my bye today.
Yep, thanks, Jeff. An excellent play, by the way. Jeff Creasy ran with the Bothan Network and the Vader yellow deck, which is a super affordable deck, too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. That's why we did it.
So, check that out. Or Vika's version with Tarkin. Maybe.
That Dark deck was spicy.
Yep, I just saw his name,
Yeah.
a name on the scroll.
Ooh, Shield
Snow-
of the Pike Sentinel is interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
And actually, the Canadians are the first ones up in the front row there
Mhm.
with the Snowtrooper helms.
Yeah, those Canadian guys were awesome. I got destroyed by the one Cole that made the top 8, but
Yep.
the Canadian guys are really cool. So I've been talking to them this weekend.
Talk about a meta call.
Yeah.
Maul comes in. That's going to be one overwhelm.
Yeah.
And the damage goes on the Pike shield.
Looks like they're double checking some base numbers here. Yeah,
So
nice.
Wu's got lethal 6 ways from Sunday here.
Yeah.
But
So we should be going to game 2 here shortly. We'll see if CAD can pull a rabbit out of here.
I think you might need a rabbit, a goat, maybe a few other animals, you know, to deal
Yeah,
with
we're getting closer to needing a ritualistic sacrifice as opposed to a rabbit here.
But I mean, the other thing, once you're through in time, I mean, content though it is, Wu's list has changed. They saw the deck list before.
Yeah.
But seeing how things happen, you know, there's really not a downside for it.
Okay, even CAD, you can't capture both Maul and the devastating gunship. You capture all the ground units, but then you're dead in 2 swings to the gunship.
All right, can this CAD keep him alive?
What do you think
He's
you take
got
here?
6 health left.
You've got to take the whole ground arena, right?
I think you have to, otherwise you die.
Yeah, because you have to take them all, and once you take them all, it doesn't make sense to leave the other ground units out, and because they'll die to the you'll die to them after the gunship attack. So now, what are the odds that the Kira player with 13 resources and mini cards in hand does not have an answer?
Very, very low.
Waylay for the gunship. So that's step 1. And there's a super laser blast. So that's an
answer.
That's what we call an answer.
And
yeah, game 2.
That's what we call a concession. All right.
Yeah. Game 1 goes to
Wu
Wu.
taking the first one.
Very well played. Well, I mean, we're well played from both players. You expect nothing less at this this stage and this level. Yeah. So what do you think CAD needs to do different if he wants to get back into this for the next 2 games?
The early game's got to go better. He's got to get more damage in quicker.
Yeah.
And he's got to be able to come back from getting his stuff removed.
We see him sideboarding in a lot of cards. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like the Bamboozle that we saw main that while they're really good against, the certain other decks, they're not really relevant here. Do you think it gets easier for CAD or worse post-board?
It definitely gets better. The big thing that comes in is the Phantoms.
Yeah.
Which Kira historically has had a tough time dealing with.
Yeah, Lurking Tie is huge. Does Wu have Traitorous in his 60 or 70, I should say, in his list at all?
No, he doesn't.
Because usually against,
he does not.
Oh, interesting, because that's the big answer. Is obviously no glory is an answer is one of the answers, but the problem with the Data Vault list is you're running 60 against 50 and you have one answers. So not having Traitorous could be an issue.
Yeah, and I'm surprised with all the Traitorous that's been around lately. I mean, that's been a card that I initially loved. And I've had a... One second, let me get that back.
Loopy, I think your mic might be off.
I've unmuted myself. I actually was saying goodbye to John Tada, who's actually just getting out of here after an excellent run. And he has to hit a flight, so I was doing that. But Traitorous really is a high-risk, high-reward card. If it works, it feels so good. And if you're playing against people that aren't playing around Traitorous and know that it's there and are ready for it, I mean, it can win you matches, but you're kind of staking oftentimes the game on that.
So I think of Traitorous as no glories 4 through 6.
Right.
Because they are literally your only ways to kill Lurking Tie outside of damage. Now, we do see a second Eager Escort Fighter. I would expect to see that coming in because it also answers Lurking Tie just with damage. But I think that's the name of this game, is can Ray find more Lurking Ties than Wu can find answers for it.
And Wu does in fact call that Space Open Fire.
Nice.
Is there. But, I mean, actually we saw him use it for lethal last match. So let's look at Ray's list, though. Let's look at this CAD list and see what people might bring in. Or what would you be looking at, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, Lurking Tie is the obvious one. I think Cham is another one because you're playing against a resupply deck that wants to try to ramp and flip its leader sooner. I don't think you want the no good. The unrefusable offer is really interesting, especially when you see. I think it could be a way to get an Avenger on your side, where you play the unrefusable offer, CAD capture the Avenger, and then you just don't care if Kira kills it. I already got your Avenger.
And I'm not going to be happy unless I see an unrefusable offer played in the final. I think it comes in. I think that actually a lot of the sideboard is Kira. So between the two, Ray has the bigger potential to improve on sideboard. I
think so. That's what RT thought as well.
Right.
I think Ray easily wants to board in 7 cards, and there's an argument for no good if you're trying to halt the Avengers to let you go wide a little bit before it untaps. But I think you would easily want 7 cards in here with the Lurking Ties, the Chams, and the unrefusable offers. What do you think, RT?
All right, so here they go to game 2. Wu is up 1 match, and we are at the closing days of the first regional qualifier. How good has this been to you guys?
It's been great. I'm excited we didn't see like a complete run over in game 1. I think Ray held in there pretty well for considering he had a bad start. And hopefully we'll get some get a good game here in game 2.
All right, so Wu has had an excellent one. I think he had one match in the very last main game of Swiss that he
Yes.
lost when he was not playing for it, but I think he was probably playing to win based upon what
Oh,
I
he
saw
was-
in Melee.
Yeah, he was absolutely playing to win because basically the KTOD guys were trying to make sure Chrono got his bye, so their plan
Yep.
was they drew with each other and they played against anyone else to try to knock them out of top 8. So he didn't need the win for himself, but he was just being a good teammate to Chrono and trying
That's
to
what
make sure
happened.
that Chrono got top 8. Yeah, that's what happened. So that was the round that he played, and I watched those games were insane. They were such good games.
And and they weren't on stream because why would anybody have picked that? We would have thought it would be a draw, but
Yeah.
I mean, the
No,
team
we
aspect
literally
match-
20 people were circled around those games watching him. It
I
was
heard the
against
applause
Quinlan
were up.
Tarkentown. Yeah, it was a really good last round of Swiss that Wu lost to my teammate Cluis.
right.
That's what got Cluis in top 8.
Was that Quinlan?
Quinlan Tarkentown. Yeah, he
Yep.
was the Bothan Quinlan in top 8 that lost to Tata in top 8. It was
And-
also a good match.
And for plummeting down, 6 points of market share as decks brought, I mean, Quinlan Tarkentown was the only deck repeated in the top 8. And my boy Carlos got a game off Wu, too.
Yeah.
So, and that's not easy to do. I've played a lot of games against him.
Yeah, Wu's just another beast for sure.
DJ Clero's unrefusable offer a trick. I don't believe so. I think
It
it's
is
about.
I don't believe it has any other types other than bounty, but I could be wrong.
But I love seeing DJ Clero in the chat. Akbar Green stick together. Bazine off the gun. What are you taking with Bazine here, guys?
Ooh.
French greens also stick together.
I think you just take the Pershing, because you're not worried about the power, unless the different. If you have McClunky and want to Bazine a bunch of times, you could take the power. But I think you just take the Pershing. It doesn't matter that much for Kira that they don't have a turn 1, but it matters for Kira that they don't get to start drawing cards constantly. Oh my god!
Oh! And the pro move.
Sometimes this is why Wu is in the finals.
Yep.
That is a pro gamer move right there. You
Yes.
can't play better than that.
And I love the way he cast it, too. He tapped his resources and flipped it off the top. Why not? Attaboy, my friend. All right, so Bazine is looking down. We have some monsters in the Grand Arena right now. The 0-5 Pershing looking down 1-3 Bazine. We go to turn 2. We have the Lurking Tie coming in
Ooh,
from the
he's got it.
sideboard.
So now we need eager escorts or in 2 turns we'll get the no glory.
But every time that Pershing turns sideways, Wu gets another possible answer, and it's important to turn that
Yep.
off. Bazine goes to Pershing, which is correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Death Trooper, though.
Oh, interesting that Wu hits his Pershing twice with the Death Trooper.
I think he's assuming that Tarkentown's incoming.
That's
and he wants
exactly
to
right.
conserve
Hey,
the,
that's fair.
And
That's
not
the
only
health.
that, I think he's making the Tarkentown feel bad.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we might not see the Tarkentown. He might have actually just drawn another card by hurting his own unit.
Well, but I think the first thing you do is you see
Oh.
this board get cleared by CAD. So
Ooh.
Now, McClunky answers both, is able to take
Mm-hmm.
down a 2-for-1 with 1 resource. What a card. It looks like both of these decks are full hyperspace. I don't recall seeing one that isn't. So both these guys have been playing a long time. Resupply.
the resupply as well.
But the Lurking Tie hits for 4.
Yeah, and we're in no glory range.
Why did you go big? What happened?
So it was he Bazine the Pershing and then Pershing at the top. He was funny.
All right, Bazine. I'm guessing here it's probably devastating gunship.
And actually, our friend from Canada that brought Han 2 Blue back to the meta just came to ask us. So, yeah, shout out to him and all the snowtroopers over there. Still watching the
Yeah.
match. Those are diehards. And it's notable to say that Wu's list does not have the answers for Lurking Tie it once did. He's not running the make of openings. He's not running perilous positions that I recall.
No, he does not have any perilous position. He has 5 answers in the 70, which are 3 no glories and 2 eager escort fighters.
Right.
In addition to obviously just playing space units and attacking
Right.
it, but those are the 1 action answers from hand.
And he will prioritize the thing. And he clears Bazine, which is exactly what you need to do, because you can't have that Bazine coming back and forth.
Yeah, it already got McClunkied once. We saw
Right.
it get waylaid last round. Like, Ray has no qualms about returning his Bazine to hand in whatever way he needs to.
Now, the downside of Lurking Tie is now there are 2 of them does not feel great anymore. I wonder if now there are 2 of them is still in the deck, honestly.
I believe we saw him. I think I saw him siding them out when he was
Yep.
taking about multiple cards out.
And that makes sense because, I mean, once you have the non-underworld card there, you know, in
Yeah.
the space arena, the type
Exactly.
move, I mean, it's tough. And it's really kind of tough to get off that combo against Kira in the first place.
Yeah, you never want to be stuck on one unit anyway. For now, there are two of them. And then also, you want to be card efficient, not resource efficient. In certain matchups, you need to say, hey, how can I spend my resources in the best manner here? And here you need to say, okay, I only have so many cards. Everything they have is at least a 1-for-1 removal spell. How do I be the most card efficient?
And absolutely good play. Good play by both of these, you know, players. They're not here at the final of a 625-player tournament for not knowing their decks. And I did not have Cat Darkentown on my Bingotown in the final. Bingo card for the final. Here we are.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did.
If you had told me whether I thought Wu was in the final, I'd probably give you a different answer. All right. So we have 11 damage on Data Vault. For the excellent plays Wu has made,
Second Lurking Tie.
this game is going much
Ooh,
better.
that's rough.
There.
Okay,
But that
Inferno 4 is a solidly
solid.
good answer.
that's gonna help.
Well, we'll see. So McClunky is offline.
Yeah, no Tarkentown, no McClunky. We could see something like a
And Kira is swinging
Relentless
for
Pursuit.
6, protected by a Sentinel.
Yeah,
And, I mean, Zuckus can't ambush unless you already have a Forlom out. A Forlom is actually a pretty good player right now.
Forlom would be good. I think you want to try to answer this Inferno 4 before it starts taking out your Lurking Ties.
What answer is that Inferno 4?
Relentless Pursuit.
Relentless Pursuit. Yep, a capture. Absolutely.
If he doesn't have that, he could just run it over with his own, so then it doesn't
Yeah.
get to trade with the second one also.
Yeah, it feels bad, but I think you have to try to do that to at least preserve one of them if you don't have the answer. He's at 7 now, I believe, so he could CAD unit, capture the Sentinel and the Inferno 4.
I think he's just at 6.
Oh, is he at
I
it's
think
hard
he-
to tell.
I think he just resourced to 6.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's one of the downsides of both the solid sleeves or official sleeves rules is we get a lot of people using solid sleeves because you will not get deck check, you won't have any problems, but it makes it hard to count resources. Absolutely.
Well, pro gamer move for any of you guys that play on stream. If you cascade your sleeves, it's very easy to tell.
I always put them in groups of 3.
I put them in groups of 3, but cascade them diagonally,
There you go.
because then you can really easily
Yeah.
see the delineations.
We were just talking about a masterclass in tournament math and, and scooping in team play with Todd as he left. So, you know, there we go. We could have a masterclass in sleeves. You and Bobbysapphire over there can teach it. All right, here we go. The
Let's see,
Lurking
yeah,
Tie
Lurking
has
Tie
to
into Inferno
push
4.
itself into
Yeah.
Inferno 4.
And there's the egress
And
score.
Ah, there
So
we go.
that is the one. I mean, that's one of the
Space-
reasons it's in the deck.
Space Open Fire does
Yeah.
its thing.
Oh, it's
Coming
way
from the
better
side
than
of it.
Space
2
Open
down,
Fire because
1 to
Open Fire
go.
doesn't kill Lurking Tie. Like that's why it's in the deck is because Kira has such a hard time with Lurking Tie. Like, that card's
Absolutely.
really good right now. It's just versatile.
Mist Hunter comes down, making Kira hit for more.
Yeah.
He's thinking about it though. Yeah.
He knows there's no Daring Raids, there's no Tie Dagger Phantoms, there's no punish that he can think of right now. The biggest punish is something like a Crafty Smuggler could attack her next turn, but that's next turn's problem.
And I think that's exactly what was happening there as he paused for a moment. He was thinking back to that deck list
Yep.
that he's seen as to what could possibly punish if I go to 2.
Yeah.
Oh, so Kira is going to swing in for 6, taking it to 11.
Looks like CAD might
All right,
be
I
able
wonder
to-
if so Dark Trooper could go to base. It could just ram CAD to give itself an experience also.
Yeah, I like that. The downside is then if the CAD claims and plays an Underworld card, you have to pick which unit you want to kill.
All right.
So I think you just go to base and don't get cute with it.
Yeah, and you know, as
Yeah, I'd probably
we've
go to
talked
base.
about before, who's an aggressive player on either deck. I mean, he wants to finish off that last 11 health and go back to
Yeah.
go back out east with a title in tow. All right, so Kira is hitting for 6, protected by a Sentinel. Kira's gonna swing again, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
And interesting to swing with the Boba and not the Cad, because I don't know which one is correct, but it's if you attack the Cad into the Sentinel and then he attacks with Kira, then Boba can kill Kira with the on attack.
A shield, guys.
Yeah.
And there's no Saboteur ambush in the CAD deck. There, we're going to get Bazine. You can have that Devastator.
And that's it. That's the big punish, too. The line that I was talking about, if he had attacked CAD into the Sentinel, it's worse into some other cards. It reduces your CAD health, but then Boba wouldn't have been able to be Vigilanced, and you play this game where Wu can't attack with Kira or the Boba kills it for free.
There's 20 damage on Ray's base. Looking for an answer, trying to stay alive. CAD finally does kill Kira at a cost of 6 damage to him.
Did Wu top deck another Devastator? Did the Bazine bug happen again?
Could be. What is he at? 9?
So Wu is 5 damage away from being the Minneapolis regional champion.
Let's not count those chickens before they hatch.
They hadn't hatched it. We're allowed to at least say the counting is the mathematician has entered the room to decide if the counting should start.
And Vader is probably the best card he can have, which not only goes, he'll play as many cards as he can into Cad Bane.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
If he sees
He's
a high
sneaking out his clipboard.
Oh, he got the
Death
perfect
Trooper's
answer.
so
The
good
Death
there.
Trooper
Yeah,
on the last eggs.
and then Vader ambushing
Bazine gets
Bazine.
taken down.
So you need something like a CAD unit here to clean this up. Vader is lethal by himself, so he needs to deal with this Vader. If he doesn't have the CAD, he has to claim and find it, and then hope that Wu doesn't have removal.
Cold plate into your outs, which absolutely is probably it. If it's there, he counts 20. Ray has had an excellent tournament. Brought Cad Bane Tarkentown all the way to the final against one of the best players in SWU. Staring down, does he have the answer? I mean, he's been a deliberate thinking player.
Yeah.
All three. He might have it. He has Jabba.
So you can get a Waylay here.
Yeah, Waylay Vader.
Ray has also been running the KTOD gauntlet, playing 3 of their members in the top 8. So this is the 3rd and final boss.
So he's gotten through the mid bosses, and when we go through Wu as the final boss here, don't think that Alex and Wu didn't talk about who had a better matchup into the non-KTOD guy in the top 4. Don't think that didn't happen.
I'm totally calling Tada the mid-level boss from now on.
I'm gonna let him know that you gave him that nickname, Loopy.
I just got him to agree to do maybe a Ray Masterclass, guys. Don't kill me. Nobody's watching this, right?
Yeah. We see the McClunky picked up, so that's 3 damage. Not enough to kill the Vader.
He's going to McClunky for free, putting 3 on Vader, look for a note.
But he can't Jabba again. He only has 3 resources. Oh, he has 4 left. I
sure
can't
he
count the
can. He's got
resources.
4.
So if he
Which means
finds
he's gotta
another
find another
McClunky,
McClunky.
Gotta find another McClunky. Can there be another McClunky? Wu hit the Pershing off of the Bazine. Can Jabba find double McClunkies to keep him alive in the final of the Minneapolis Regional Qualifier?
No.
I believe he whipped.
Does he have it in hand?
He has it in hand.
Oh, yeah, in
there
hand.
we
He
go.
didn't even need to look.
There we go.
All right.
Staying alive.
If you can Pershing, I can McClunky.
Yeah. Carlos, this is game 2. Wu got game 1. Staying alive. Staying alive. See, we're not going to get a content strike if we just sing it ourselves. That's a
The other thing I always yell when something like that keeps me alive, I just yell, "We're not dead yet."
Dead yet? I'll feel better. But Death Trooper has 2 health. I think that we'll probably take the damage here to take him to 23, but any Underworld card, which means all of them other than the Lurking Tie, is going to take care of that Death Trooper after the attack, and we'll see if they can say, we don't have a good idea, I think, what's in Wu's hand right now. So, anything can brick.
Ray also has to be very careful about playing a ground because of Maul.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Maul can get that last 2 damage in a hurry. We are getting there, folks.
Oh, we're seeing the Reinforcement Walker first, so he's... I like this because if you see something like a Forlom to kill the Death Trooper, then you still have the Reinforcement Walker that has to be dealt with. I like this more than just attacking for 3.
Yeah, me too. Because it presents lethal on its own next round.
Exactly. And and you can't just do a CAD unit to capture, because you can CAD unit, and then you can just ping the Death Trooper and keep the Reinforcement Walker at 9, and so it can't be captured.
Right. No, the Reinforcement Walker is the contingency plan. And that's a real hard deal for Cad Bane right there.
Yeah. Trying to see how many McClunkies he has left.
If he really wants this one, he's gonna have the 4th and 5th copy.
Yeah. Along with a couple of Javas.
Hooray has played his heart out.
There's one Java.
There's one Java.
It's probably the same one, but we don't know.
You never know. Maybe there's 2 of them.
Now there are.
Yeah, exactly.
Sneak attack.
Sneak attack.
Okay.
Think about that, Woo.
So you can sneak in a Zuckuss, but that doesn't kill the Reinforcement Walker.
3 to base.
Looks like he didn't trigger the CAD there.
Yeah, correct.
Does that mean something? It might mean something.
Well, it's actually interesting because if he had triggered the CAD, then a CAD unit off the top would be able to capture both.
Right. I think it related to the sneak attack. He's got to decide whether to claim here. I mean, he has to be able to remove both.
I don't know. I don't think he can remove both in one action if he claims though is the problem.
Well, he certainly can.
Yeah.
And there we go, folks.
Good games.
So, the first regional qualifier is won by the one and only Woo. 2-0, taking out Raytan from Columbus, Ohio. What a match, guy.
Woo!
All right. So, what a match. Both of those players played their heart out. I see Alex Landon coming over jubilantly from the table. And there we have it. So, the first regional win is by one of the best in the matchup. If you didn't catch the Kira Masterclass and you're looking at it, you can share it now. Get his deep dives here. We got to get out of here, too.
This tournament really is a Kira masterclass.
True,
absolutely is. Absolutely is. I would ordinarily do a winner interview, but I think that we got to get out of here. I'm sure Woo's got to get back to New Jersey. I will hit him up to do a wrap of it. But any final thoughts, Jeff and RT, from this event?
Go ahead, RT. You go first.
I don't know what else is there to say. I think I don't know if I formally predicted this on stream, but if you had asked me beforehand, I would have told you I think Kira's probably going to win this thing. And it did. So is Data Vault going to be banned? We'll see.
Oh, come on now. You're like the people talking about Force Throw, there, and I, these cards that have to go. So this was a great event. I'm so glad that we were able to do this, that we were able to do 3 streams of coverage throughout. I hope that you all enjoyed us. Shout out to, Tim, Claire, the whole McCunky crew that came here, to Wes, Mike over there that was wingman today, Bobbysapphire from KTOD. And if you watch this far, it's our hero. We are wrapping the coverage of the Minnesota Regional Qualifier. We will catch you on the flip side, folks.
Thanks, guys.
Also, shout out to all the judges and tournament organizers that made this thing happen. And
absolutely.
we're
Ward and his
close
whole
with us.
staff at Star City, Jonah, the head judge, all the fantasy play people as we go. This was a very good, well-run event. I mean, I think the feedback has been good. And on to Las Vegas, my friends. We'll go there. There's a lot in between now and then, but we'll see you there.